All right, boys, what's going on? I believe this is day 18 of the bootcamp video. And after the last two videos are pretty saucy, I'm not gonna lie. Now, this video, we're back at it with another mindset video. Today's topic is the concept of risk, because it's something I've been thinking about a lot recently too. And it's just the overall idea of I feel like anytime you're at a stage in your life where you need to be taking a big decision or a big risk, it's super uncomfortable. It's not something you're used to, and you also kind of just don't want to do it, but you also do, and they're kind of in this in between. The faster you can make that decision is the faster you're going to start to progress. Because for me specifically, I'll be honest, anytime in my life that I've made a big decision, excuse me, I'm so sick. But anytime I made a big decision in the moment where it might be uncomfortable or it might be, a little daunting at first, it ends up putting me in a position where I kind of just set myself up. And these are the type of decisions that a lot of people end up holding off for a very, very long time. And some just never end up making them. And then they wonder where it all went wrong. It literally lies in that same decision. Just the decision of taking a risk and being able to bet on yourself. And I guess right now, for me, the main thing is kind of just moving. I feel like right now, that's probably the main thing that's on my mind. I'm 21. I have built a decent scale business where, at least I have a decent income, I would say. It's not I guess what I want is a lot more, but to say that I have built nothing would be an understatement. So I will give myself that. But generally speaking, I haven't done anything crazy, or I'm still living at home. I'm still living a pretty comfortable life, I would say. Food is free, everything is kind of all the small shit just feels free. I go out with my boys, we'll go out, we'll spend time together and shit like that, and it's fun. Or I'll find myself kind of dipping back into comfortability, but I haven't really put myself in the deep end in terms of life. You know what I mean? And I had a conversation with a friend for it's an hour and a half conversation. I don't know why this guy just flashed me, but hour and a half conversation, and it really just spoke to me yo, I'm just not living life. Generally speaking, I could be doing so much more. I'm in a position where I could be doing so much more. And I feel that stagnation just kills me inside. And it's me putting off making a risky move or a big move or something that's slightly daunting. For me, that's moving out, is kind of just me being a bitch. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I feel a lot of you are probably making similar decisions in your life where you're kind of holding off of doing something similar, where it's you should drop out of school because you're not going to use a degree, but you don't want to drop out yet, or you're waiting for a better time and all this shit. Or maybe you're trying to I don't know, pick a specific business model, go all into a business model, quit your job, whatever it is. Just a big decision that could inherently have a drastic impact on your life, your day-to-day, your thought process and all that, but you're just putting it off. And I've been there, I've done that many different times, but I feel it's weird because in the past, I don't know if it's just over the top ambitious, or maybe because I had nothing to lose, it was just easier. When I got into online business, it was so easy for me to drop out of school. I just didn't give a fuck. Bro, my friend told me he dropped out within 10 minutes. I was all right, fuck it, I'm resigning. I'm not going to my exams tomorrow, and I'm not going back to school. I'm done. Boom, decision made. When I started in sales, I kind of just went all into that too. I had literally no money. I had $400 in my account. The only thing I had to my name that had any inherent value was my car. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna sell my car and then buy a fucking course. Bought a $4,000 course because of that shit. And then that led me to Ecom eventually. Probably I made maybe 50K over the span of 10 months, which is nothing in the grand scheme of things, but it gave me enough money to put it into Ecom and kind of funnel my next venture. And then I bought another Ecom course. I watched a fucking 30-minute YouTube video, boom, bought the guy's course. And that course, again, changed the, trajectory of my life, because that got me into Ecom in the first place. And then that's how I'm doing what I'm doing now. But it wasn't even that. It was also I was probably making 10K a month, or I was on track to make 10K a month. And then I just quit. I just stopped my entire income. 10K a month income just down the drain. I decided, fuck this, I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm just gonna go focus on Ecom. And then that's what I did. I kind of just dropped my entire income and I ran off savings. And I feel like to be able to do that, you're like in this sense of comfortability, in this comfortable environment. Like, yo, you're making money. You're 20 years old. You're making 10K a month. It's like, you know, it's, in the moment, it's like, do I really want to give that up? And like, I had these questions. But then I thought about like in a long-term perspective, like if I take this risk now, knowing myself, betting on myself, will it benefit me ultimately in the future? And the answer was yes. And it's not that I had any doubts that it would make it work. And I would say technically it has worked, you know. I make a lot more than 10K a month now, and yeah, on track to make a lot more. So, and plus I'm a lot more fulfilled with what I'm doing now. But like that all stemmed from me just taking risks on risks on risks. And like, I don't even necessarily like the word risk because it kind of makes it more daunting than it actually is. You know, like with those actions, what was really my risk? My risk was dropping out of school, re-enrolling, like worst case scenario. That's my fucking risk. Spending $4,000 on a program. What's my worst case scenario? Well, I go fucking pick up a job and I start making some more money. I go drive my parents' car instead of my car. Like, they were never inherently that bad of a decision to make. And I feel like like other people like would not make those decisions. But like, that's kind of how I looked at them, you know? Like, what's the worst that could happen? Because it's usually not that bad. Like, people have much bigger problems than you. The problems that you and I face are probably so minuscule. To us, it might be, it might affect us, you know, tear us down sometimes and shit. But like in the grand scheme of things, like you really don't have the right to complain. Like it's never, it can't be that bad, bro. You have both arms, you have both legs, you have your head intact. You know, hopefully your family's with you and everything. Like, it's not that bad to take that risk and to kind of just go all in and put all the chips on the fucking table and bet on yourself. And I guess as you move on, it gets a little trickier because like when I look at it from my perspective of, let's say, moving out, right? If I move out to Dubai, my expenses are probably going to shoot up to, well, knowing me, I'll probably spend like at least 7-8K a month, just like flat, you know. And then also like the initial move, it's not even just the monthly expenses. It's like 7-8K per month is like that's not going to fucking put that big of a dent in my wallet. Like I can afford that shit, but it's going to be a big upfront investment. You know what I mean? Like, you have to put a ton of money down for a place. You're gonna have to put money down for a car, probably buy a car in cash. I don't even know what I'd buy. Probably something just low end. Like, who am I to impress anybody in Dubai, bro? Those guys already got fucking crazy shit. But like, I don't know. I just think about these things. Like, what's my worst case scenario? I end up booking a flight on fucking points and I come home. But like, obviously, I wouldn't do that. I would just thug it out there. But it's not even necessarily like a risk. Like in this scenario, it's kind of just like your nerves kind of just build up a little bit. At least for me, like it's weird to say that. Like, oh, you're gonna fucking go move to Dubai and fucking, you know, live on your own and shit. Like, bro, people kind of get excited on that idea, but I haven't done that before, you know. So to me, it is a little nerve wracking, but I am also incredibly excited. And that could be the case for you guys too, with whatever decision that's on your mind, whatever it is that you're inherently trying to do. Like, chances are, if you're watching this boot camp and you're just thinking in your head like, yo, I want to go all into this shit, I want to give it my all. And by giving it my all, what does that actually mean? Like, it's not I'm gonna try my best and then fail. No, it's I am not stopping until I make this shit work. I don't care how much money it takes, I don't care how long it takes, I don't care what I have to put in for this to work. It just doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't even cross my mind. All I know is I'm just going to move forward with this goal in mind, and eventually I will achieve what I originally set out to achieve. And if you can take risks with that mindset, it's never actually that risky. And like, part of this video is also a message to myself. You know, stop being a bitch and just book the flight and then figure it out later, because that's usually what I do. But it's also a message to you, because I know what it feels like to kind of think about all these other things and kind of get in your head about shit, kind of like I'm doing now. But at the end of the day, like, it's really not that risky. And like, I was even me, bro, looking back, like, I was ready to I was down $20,000 and I was ready to fucking, if I lost like my last like 4 or 5K that I had left, I was prepared to take out a loan if I had to. I was prepared to run up my credit card and just go in the negatives. Like I wasn't in the negatives by the time I found my product, but like I was prepared to do that shit. And I feel like just putting yourself in that mental space will end up taking you so much further, and then your capacity for risk will increase. Like even now, I feel like I could take like the things I would deem risky back in the day, I probably wouldn't see that risky now. And I guess I'll leave it on this. I know I touched up on this earlier in the video. It is actually easier to take risks at the start, believe it or not, because if you have nothing to lose, which I inherently had nothing to lose, I had no money, sitting at home doing fuck all, like, bro, it doesn't fucking change anything, you know? Like, your life is going to stay the same. Your worst case scenario is the life you're living now. It gets harder once you actually have something to lose. So if you're in a position where you inherently don't have much to lose, a couple $1,000s, your time, it's already worth nothing. It's worth such minimal amounts that you can give that up even just for a chance, an opportunity that you can fucking change your entire life. And I would take that chance every time, and I recommend you do the exact same. So I'll end it off on that. If you have nothing to lose, fucking take the biggest risk you possibly can. In this case scenario, if you're still watching this bootcamp, chances are the biggest risk that you need to take is to go all into this shit. Mentally prepare yourself for whatever is to come. Whether you succeed tomorrow, whether you succeed in 6 months, a year, it doesn't matter. Eventually you will succeed. And moving forward with that mindset is the only thing that's ever going to get you to the point where you want to be. So yeah, bruv, on to the next video. Hopefully it's a learning video. We'll see. I've taught you guys quite a decent amount. I really don't even know what else to put in this shit, but I'll figure something out to give you guys some value. So have a good night, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.